Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. We're having a graphics issue, so this is our backup graphic. Well, shocking as it may seem, Facebook has been deliberately inciting people to fight with each other. So says the whistleblower. What? I'm shocked. I thought Facebook was Mark Zuckerberg. These tech guys are so hipster. They wear hoodies and, buy up, half of the North Shore of Kauai and won't let people come near it, even though it's a public beach. And they're shitheads. I'm glad more whistleblowers are coming forward. So here's what this woman had to say.
Whistleblower Frances Haugen on Facebook's international impact.
The team I worked on was called Civic Integrity, and it was responsible for trying to make sure that Facebook was a good force in society. And right after the election, like within weeks after the election, they told us, we're dissolving Civic Integrity. Like they basically said, oh, good, we made it through the election. There wasn't riots. We can get rid of Civic Integrity now. And
that right there, that Facebook started a Civic Integrity group, already suspect. But I'm sure there was people like this woman who thought, oh, we're doing the right thing. And Civic Integrity, during the election, there's not riots. And then they shut it down. So maybe they're partially responsible for January 6th.
When they got rid of Civic Integrity, it was the moment where I was like, I don't trust that they're willing to actually invest what needs to be invested to keep Facebook from being dangerous.
When you were told that Civic Integrity was being shut down, what was the purpose of that?
They claimed it was that Civic Integrity was so important that they needed to integrate it into all the other teams. And
man, I love corporate speak. We need to integrate it into all of the teams. No, that means shut down. We're shutting your shit down. I'm so glad I've never worked for a big corporation, because that corporate speak, just A, it's like fingers on a chalkboard, and B, you can smell the bullshit just reeking from it. We're going to integrate this into other teams and get a more focused resolve and synergy and run it up the flagpole. Oh, those words all sound important.
So that it would no longer be a standalone unit.
Yeah, we need to. It was so important. We should integrate it into all the other teams.
Is that what happened?
I don't think that I was alone in feeling what happened was dissolving the team, because the team that I got placed on, so my team got reorganized.
So what were the Civic Integrity people going through?
So imagine, no one else in the world knows what you know. You're the only ones working on it. And that you have maybe a tenth the number of people you need, right? So like, I'll give you an example. So my counter-espionage team, it had under 10 people. How are 6 or 7 people supposed to fight China spying on people in Taiwan or Uyghurs all around the world?
Oh, I love corporate window dressing. I mean, that's corporate window dressing. That's obviously what that was. So from day one, they had no intention of it. They just went, we're going to do our Civic Integrity team. We're going to put 6 people on it. How many users does Facebook have worldwide? Billions of people. We're going to put 6 people on it. Okay. There's 5 islands of floating garbage. We're going to get a couple of guys on some stand-up paddle boards to go address it so that we can say we're addressing climate change. This is what big corporations do. I mean, this is like the oil companies that like, we're investing in green energy, and it's like $10 million or $20 million in green energy on a company that's worth billions of dollars. It's window dressing. It's called greenwashing, specifically with regards to the environment. But that's what this is. This is window dressing. 6 people on the security team. Okay. Yeah. We're going to hire some unarmed mall security guards to be Secret Service for the president. And then, oh my God, something happened to the president. How could this have happened?
Our team at any given time only could work on a third of the cases that we had. Like a third of them. Like we literally had to sit there and make a list and be like, who will we actually protect? And there's no reason we had to do that. We could have had, 2, 3, 10 times as many people. And we intentionally didn't build detection systems because we already couldn't handle the cases we had.
And Facebook management is aware of this?
When I would express concerns, like with my own team, like when I was working on civic misinformation, that we were insufficiently staffed, I was told flat out, at Facebook, we accomplish impossible things with far less resources than anyone thought possible.
This is why Silicon Valley is such full of bullshit, right? And they all sit around and they ride this myth. You know, Mark Zuckerberg started this in his dorm room, so that's what you guys need to do. Yeah, when he had, what, 100 users or something like that? And now Facebook has thousands, tens of thousands of employees. They're worth billions of dollars. But then they use that as an excuse when they don't want to deal with it. God, it's just, ugh.
I don't think it was malevolent. But because the leaders there are
that's where I disagree with this woman. Now, this is just her opinion, in my opinion. I absolutely think it's malevolent. And this is what big corporations do. They get, I don't know this woman personally, but she seems like she was like, you know, they trick you into thinking you're working for something good. So you can tell yourself, no, this is not just some big evil corporation. This is like, we're trying to, you know, give people a forum on. I mean, like if you told me that without knowing much about it, like, you know, you're working in tech, so they're not, you know, they're not targeting kids, or they're not, you know, misinformation or scam or bullying people. You know, people have been bullied so much online that they've committed suicide. Like we got to help prevent that. Or, you know, foreign governments trying to hack and put misinformation out there. We got to help prevent that. Like all those sound like noble reasons, right? Just like the military, you're going to go to Afghanistan and you're going to, you know, fight the Taliban that was part of 9/11, and you're going to rebuild that country and give little girls the right to go to school. And you're told that and you believe that, and you find out it's bullshit. We were in Afghanistan for 20 years just to keep the war machine going, like Julian Assange predicted, like he talked about. And this is, Facebook is about not safety. It's about making big money, and it's about data collection for the intelligence community. And nice, smart, good-natured people like this get roped in. And she still thinks the leadership was not evil. This is where it's like, come on, don't be so naive. I'm cynical. We lived in Germany when I was a kid. My parents took us to Dachau. I was 6 years old. It's my first, like, oh, the human race is awful. So I have this cynical dark side of me, and I just don't trust people. And I got to work to be more positive sometimes, but it's also not a bad thing. And then you grow up and you see crimes and you see adults who are supposed to be these big leaders of society do awful shit. And you go, at your core, you got to not trust because they dupe you when you're too gullible, when you're too naive. I've been duped. We've all been duped. We all want it to be good. We all want to believe in something.
And our maybe early Facebook employees, they may have never worked anywhere else. They have no context for like how inappropriately resourced things are. They just keep repeating the same truisms over and over again.
But this can't be a matter of money. It's $1 trillion company. I totally
get it. I think it's a feedback cycle. So every time there's a scandal, it's harder for people at Facebook to hire, right? More people are like, no, I couldn't work at Facebook. But because they're understaffed, they have to make compromises. And because they can't start from a place of, we have a problem, we need to declare moral bankruptcy.
Moral bankruptcy?
Moral bankruptcy is an opportunity for Mark, for Facebook, to come in and say, we completely messed up. Some of it's our fault, some of it's not our fault, but we have gone in so far over our heads that we need a reset. Or we're sorry, we did this thing, but we're trying to do better.
And that's the problem with America in general, but capitalism and big corporations. They got a team of lawyers that are saying, don't admit fault. It'll open us up to lawsuits. This is the thing that drives me. And this is why America's so divided. Which is why you've got these Karens running around screaming because no one has ever told them no. No one can admit fault because it starts from the top. The leadership of this country and this world are a bunch of psychos who will never say we screwed up or we were just trying to do this for money. That's why I have more respect for like criminal, like mobsters and like drug dealers, because at least they're like, I'm a criminal. I'm a street thug. I'm a mobster. This is the life that at least you could, it's scary or whatever, but at least they're telling me honestly who they are. And this is the thing, even from a purely cynical standpoint, the best thing for Facebook to do would be to say these things that she's saying. If Mark Zuckerberg would go, we've lost our way. It was this cool thing. It's gotten out of control. I make too much money. The buck stops with me. They're never going to do that. They got a wall of lawyers saying, don't admit fault. What's on the back? What's on the back of your insurance card for your car insurance card that's in your wallet right now or in your car right now? Look at what's on the back of that card right now. What does it say? Don't admit fault. Because the insurance company doesn't want to pay for it, even if it is your fault. If it is your fault, you should admit fault. You should go, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. I ran the stop sign and I smashed into you. It's my fault. I got to pay for this. Well, your insurance rates are going to go up and that they don't want to pay it and blah, 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 blah. It's the whole culture of this toxic capitalism. Because it's all just about money, 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 and power and money, money. So never admit fault because you might lose your money. You might lose your power. You might lose your stock share. You might lose your market share. That's why our politicians never admit fault. That's why nobody ever, ever, ever admits fault. Trump would physically explode if he said, I'm sorry, I screwed up. He physically can't do it. Bill Clinton lied. Bill Clinton couldn't just say, yeah, man, I was fucking an intern and she sucked my dick in the Oval Office and I'm a piece of shit and I've lied to the grand jury and lied. They have to lie. They're psychos. That's what big power does. They just lie and they can't own it. I mean, they just can't go, I screwed up. People who can't apologize are sick in the head. They're sick in the head. They literally, and they have narcissistic personality disorder or what? I don't know. They can't do it. They can't do it. And I hope this means Facebook goes under and becomes like MySpace. Only old people are on it anyway. No kids are on it. The kids are all on TikTok. The kids are all on TikTok or Snapchat or something. Maybe somewhere on Instagram, but the only old people are on Facebook. I don't go on it anymore. I have a Facebook account, and when I post on Instagram, which I know is owned by Facebook, it automatically posts there. I used to buy Facebook ads because I used to think Facebook was so great as a comedian because I could do targeted ads. Oh, I'm doing a show in, Omaha. I can buy ads for comedy fans and podcast fans in Omaha. Like, oh, Ron and Placone and I are going to Omaha. So who are all of the people who like the Jimmy Dore show? What an amazing ad thing. I would gladly give Facebook money for that, but then they screw that up and they lie. And then they can't. And after she did this review, they gave some stupid corporate statement. I'm not even going to read it. Just like, we at Facebook hold with the utmost integrity, the blah, 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 blah. Because they can't say what she just said they should say. They went, we screwed up. This woman's right. We've lost control. We don't know what we're doing. We got to do a page 1 rewrite. And we're going to try to do better. Even if it was just purely cynical, like we're losing stock share and we need to get more of even if they just did that, even just for the cynical reason of this will be good marketing if we own it. You could at least go, they're trying to say it, even if for cynical reasons, but they can't, they physically can't do it. They're why they're such pieces of shit. These companies, I'm sorry, Facebook, it should become a public utility. The whole world, the whole country uses it. People use it for Facebook groups, for non-for-profits use them, schools use them, everybody uses it. So it should be a public utility. We should just take it over. I'm sorry, because they're psychos. And they're lying to us and putting our children at risk, as she's about to explain.
Like what you really need to do is come out and level and say, we have to reorganize the company. we have to admit that people don't want to work here right now and figure out solutions on them. Because if they don't do that thing, they're just going to continue to get worse, and the process is just going to reinforce and reinforce.
For Facebook's response, go to 60minutesovertime.com.
And that's just talking about that cybersecurity. I wanted to talk about that. We've all heard what she said about how we know they target children. We know they incite, you'll get in the other part of the interview, she said, you'll get 100 things on your feed, and they'll deliberately put ones in there that piss you off, that get you fighting, that get you angry, because that gets more clicks and views and shares. So they're deliberately stirring things up. Now, what have I told you on this show from day one? What does the ruling class want? Keep us divided, distracted, and afraid. Those three things. Facebook is helping with that, which is why I find it hard to believe that they just don't know what they're doing. They don't have a conversation. No one wants to work there. Don't work there. Become a whistleblower. Don't give Facebook any money. I don't know. I mean, I've been thinking about shutting it down for a while anyway. I mean, my Facebook fan page has 10,000 followers. I can help promote live shows and stuff, but I don't know. Facebook was shut down today. Did anybody care? Did anybody miss it? I simulcast on Facebook, but it's usually like 14 people are watching. I'll have like 400 people watching on YouTube. 50 to 100 people watching on Rockfin, and like 10 people watching on Facebook. But I'm glad this woman came forward. I hope more whistleblowers. I mean, you really want to bring it down? Come forward. If you work for a big company, come forward. I know it's not easy. I'm not saying, it'll be problem, because I don't know. She might get targeted. She might have a hard time getting work. Who knows what they're going to do? But if more people come forward, they can't target everybody. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Hey, everybody. Ron Placone and I had to cancel all of our October tour dates because of COVID, the Delta variant, all that. But we still have shows in California. Ron and I are doing San Francisco, September 11th, Sacramento, September 12th, Burbank, September 15th, and Lee Camp and I are doing Live Government Secrets, September 18th in Los Angeles. All those tour dates are at GrahamElwood.com. All of the venues are requiring proof of vaccination. Dynasty Typewriter on the 18th is also saying you can do negative COVID tests, but check with the venues for what their policies are. I have no control over those policies. Go to GrahamElwood.com. Sorry we can't come. This sucks. We'll be back hopefully next year. But if you're in California or want to make the trip, come out to these shows. These are probably the only shows we're going to do this year. Thank you.